Welcome everyone to the next installment of this month in Microsoft Teams. I think one of the nice things about doing a monthly webinar is I have a little more freedom to mix things up with my presentations. So I've got a nice Halloween theme today. So let's get started. My name is Tim Holman. I'm a project manager with Peters & Associates. And one of the areas that I've been tasked with is to become the subject matter expert for Microsoft Teams. And that is a moving target because the Teams app is updated so frequently. This month in Microsoft Teams monthly series looks at Teams functionality and new features as they are added. Additionally, I try to throw in tips and tricks where I can. So let's get started with the October version of this month in Teams. I like to start these out with just a little background on why we use GoToMeeting to present a Teams webinar. When we made the decision to go to GoToMeeting, Teams didn't have a registration process at that time. So we are licensed for this platform, and sometimes it's difficult to demo Teams from within Teams. But now Teams does have a webinar option for meetings, and so it's something we may consider in the future. So a very simple agenda for today. An overview, I just like to make sure everybody's on the same page, just a real brief background on Teams. The focus this month is just on what's new. I've talked about different features of Teams. I've covered those, but it's really the new things that are being released that are driving this webinar. As always, I will demo those features, and then we'll have some time for questions at the end. So a slide I stole from Microsoft, but I think it's really good at summing up what Teams can do for an organization. So imagine a world where you can have your meetings, your chat, phone calls, share files, store files, collaborate on files, not eliminate email, but greatly reduce your email usage. Built-in apps like the To-Do app, create dashboards, all of this to drive you to use one application for all your daily work. So you can automate routines, you can pull in third-party applications. It's great at communicating and collaborating, and it's all in one location. It's all in Microsoft Teams. I update this when I can. The last time was April, but it just shows that the usage of Teams has just skyrocketed. It's Microsoft's hottest product. They have another metric they use. It's 250 monthly active users. This is a daily snapshot. And it's interesting to compare this to Zoom. I think that's the biggest competitor out there. They report their numbers as daily meetings. So one user with 3 meetings would be counted as a 3. So apples and oranges, but it just shows that it's super popular and it's not going anywhere. A slide I like to update each month if I can, and what's really the thing to look at is the blue and the yellow that are showing features that are launched or rolling out each month. And this was 60 in the first quarter and 120 in the second, and we're already looking at another 75 for the third quarter, and then a lot of features in development. So it's just great to see that the platform's evolving, and it gives me something to talk about each month. Something new I've added, I'm just tracking third-party applications that are available in the Teams app. So almost 1,200 third-party apps, and it's super easy to implement an app in Teams. Administrators can enable them, and then you can just add it to a tab in a team site, and now you can pull in that information from whatever app that is. So on to what you're here for. It's the October update. I just wanted to throw a disclaimer out there. This is not intended to be a training session. It is something we offer. I've done this for a lot of different organizations. The nice thing is you can record the training sessions, put it in your library. As you onboard new people, they can watch it and have it as a tool, just to get everybody on the same page, talk about different ways of using Teams, kind of gets the ball rolling as to what you can do with Teams. So again, not training, a high level overview. Here are the list of new features I'll be talking about today. I'm not gonna go over them all. Some are brand new, some are kind of revisiting other features that were announced before, but things are a little different. So I talked about this a couple months ago. Microsoft announced that audio conferencing is now going to be free. And more recently, they announced that there's going to be a price increase. So the good news is, if E3 is the most common license out there, if you had an E3 plus audio conferencing, you were paying $24 a month. The new E3 price is $23, but you don't have to pay the $4 for the audio conferencing, so it's actually $1 savings. So just want to throw that out there. Again, licensing is something that we're really good at. We got a lot of customers that get their licenses through us, and so we'll be able to help you navigate the new prices and the new platform and all of that's going on with that. So, first feature on my list is the ability to reply to a specific message in chat. So one of the advantages of Teams is that chat is persistent. So you can go back in time to the first chat you ever had with someone. The problem is, if you try to reply to something, they're not gonna know what you're talking about. So in essence, what this does is it summarizes. So you go back to an older message. This is from April of 21, and you click on the three dots and you get reply. It will provide a little summary of that chat and let you reply to it. So I'll show you in the demo what that looks like, but it refocuses to that part of the communication. Something I found when I was just looking around in settings is the ability to open a new chat in a new window. Again, one of the annoyances with Teams is everything, right? It's your app for everything, but you can only do one thing at a time. So if I was trying to schedule a meeting and I had my calendar open and I wanted to send a chat to someone to see if they were available, I could right-click on the chat icon in the app bar and do a new chat, and it would pop open a new window. So super convenient, neat little feature. Just stumbled across it. I will show that as well. This is a thing that I had talked about earlier, and when I went to demo it, it disappeared. So it just shows you how quickly things change. And this is the ability to open files within Teams in your preferred application. So it can be within the Teams app, you can use a desktop app or browser. And originally when this was rolled out in preview, it was under general, and now there's its own setting. So this is available to everyone. They can go in to files and they can pick how they want that to open. If you happen to be on the leading edge, or you're one of the people that's implementing Teams in your organization, your administrators can enable preview. And sometimes it gets confusing. Am I looking at a feature that's in preview, or has it been released? What Microsoft has done is they've added a little P icon up near your avatar. And so you can just at a glance see, yep, I'm in preview mode, so this feature may not be available to everyone, or maybe be acting buggy because of that. So Breakout Rooms, it's an option that has been evolving since it was released. I worked with an organization that was using Zoom because of the way Zoom does Breakout Rooms, and so they're hesitant to move to Teams, but I think these new options could help them make that switch. So two pieces, new features for Breakout Rooms. The first is the ability to create the Breakout Rooms before the meeting starts. And so what you're seeing on the screen is I went in, I created a meeting, I edited it, and now I have a Breakout Rooms tab. And what I did was I created 2 rooms, and I was able to assign people to those rooms, and I did that all before the meeting started. The other option is once the meeting started, you can assign presenters to manage breakout rooms. So if you're running the meeting, you're presenting, and it's time to switch to breakout, and maybe people joined late, you didn't get them initially, your other meeting organizers can help you get those people into the right rooms. So super cool. It's going to make breakout rooms even more advantageous to use. The whiteboard, another piece of Microsoft that just keeps getting updated. So what I'm highlighting here is the ability to use pre-made templates that you can drop right into your meeting. And so what I did was I clicked on templates, I clicked on brainstorming, and then I pulled up this template here. You'll see it on the next screen. And what this does is it gives you a pre-made space to collaborate. I previously worked in education. We did a lot of meetings, a lot of brainstorming. We did some Six Sigma stuff, a lot of time where people were going up to the whiteboard with Postit notes. It's a little chaotic, it's unorganized. One thing I learned from working in education is people are more comfortable with anonymity, right? Ideas flow a little more freely. So what this lets you do, and it's best practice to join a Teams meeting, even if you're in the room where the meeting's being held, but you can just go right in, you can type ideas on these notes, you can add more notes to them, and then all this gets saved. So we would have these meetings and put up all these Post-it notes all over these boards and then take pictures of them to try to capture that. So it's just a great way of digitizing that whole process. Presenter modes, another feature that I had talked about previously, we had standout, and now side by side and reporter are available to you. So another thing I'll try to demo if I can. It's difficult when you have multiple cameras, but I've tried it and it seemed to work. So it just makes those meetings right more engaging. It's a fun way to interact. So. And this is one I thought was really neat. It's the ability to share content from a camera. And so what you see down here is you can share a document, a whiteboard, and more. And I've seen this in dedicated meeting rooms where you have a camera set on a whiteboard. And what it does is it takes a picture of the content of the whiteboard and it kind of projects it on top of the person, so you can like see through them. I got it set up. We'll try to demo it. It's pretty neat. Again, just makes meetings more interactive, more entertaining. Just takes your meetings to the next level. So that's my presentation part. Let's jump out and demo some of these things. Let's see. All right. Let me find my notes. So reply to a specific chat. So I come over to chat. Here's Grady. I am going to scroll back through our chat, and he had given me, or I'd given him, the Teams keyboard shortcuts, but shortcuts have been updated. They've added some new navigation options, so I want to see if he can update this. So if I click on the 3 dots and click reply, now what it's done is it's taken that, there's an old thing I was testing, and I can add to this. Can you update this? And now when I send that, right, he'll know what I was referring to. It's from this chat up here, but it's the most current chat in our chat. So it's super cool option. Settings. So I'll show you a couple options in here. The first is open new chat in a new window. So you can have it in the main window or a new window, and that's where you make that option. And then the other option I was mentioning was files. And here's where you have your options of Teams, desktop app, or browser. Again, this is specific to the device you're working on. It doesn't work across devices. So it's a setting specific to that device. So if your phone may act differently, the browser may act differently, you will have to set these for each time you use Teams. Not a big deal. So if I close this and I come back to that document and I click on it, let's see. So, oh, there it is. It's trying to open it. Okay. Because I'm logged in multiple times, it's trying to open Word. Logged in as another user. So you can see it is using the desktop version, but it's trying to get me to log in to activate my license, which I'm not going to do. So it works. It opened up with the desktop app, which is super cool. Up here, you can see the public preview indicator, and you can see that I have that enabled right here. So if I go under About, Developer and Public Preview are checked, and I get that little P up there. Next is Breakout Rooms. So let's jump over to the calendar. I'm going to create a meeting. I'm going to add a couple users. And now what I have to do is create the meeting, and then I can go back in and edit it. So here's my meeting. Now if I come to edit, you'll see Breakout Rooms. So if I click on that, I'll get the option to create rooms and assign users. So create rooms, how many do you want? I want 2. Super convenient again, right, to do all this ahead of time. And now I can assign participants automatically or manually. I'm going to do it manually. And I want Grady in room 1 and Lee in room 2. And now they're assigned. So I'm going to actually go in and join this meeting and then show you how you can enable other presenters to help manage that. So I'm going to mute and join. All right. So now if I come up here and click on the breakout room icon, it'll show the 2 rooms I created and people that are assigned, but I can click on settings, just a little gear here, and I can assign presenters to manage rooms. So these are the 2 guys I have in here. If there were more participants, they would show up. You can predetermine ahead of time who can be presenters. I could pick specific people, or I could say anybody in my organization, but those are the options you have. And now Grady and Lee could help me assign people to rooms. I could just pick one if I wanted, but those are your options. Things we showed before, time limit for breakout rooms, automatically move people when I hit start. So there's breakout rooms and some of the new features there. While I'm here, let's look at the new whiteboard. So let's do share. Let's do the whiteboard. I'll make this bigger. So it's creating the whiteboard for me. And everybody in your meeting can participate with the whiteboard. It's interactive, and that's one of the neat things about this. So if I want to do templates, brainstorming, and here's that one I had picked before, I'm going to drop it right here. And this is also like an unlimited amount of space. So you can just scroll and zoom. So if I zoom in here, all right, I can come over here and I can, idea 1, a little small, so let's scroll in a little more. That's another meeting I'm in. If I wanted to go back, I can grab some notes. So let's find a green note. We'll drop that over here. A blue note, drop that over there, right? So your users can be doing this. They can add their own Post-it notes to these ideas. Set the prompt up here. And, it's just a great template. Another cool thing here is the reactions. So once you've got the ideas up on the board, you can have people vote, right? Again, it's anonymous, right? You could come back and tally these up. I don't like this idea, right? So just a super cool way to make that meeting interactive, get people engaged, and it's preserved, right? It's part of that meeting now. You can go back any time and revisit it. So I'm gonna stop presenting this, and I'm gonna try to do my content from camera. We're gonna do a whiteboard. So point your camera at your whiteboard, get ready. Okay. Okay. I think it has something to do with GoToMeeting. Actually, I'm going to stop my webcam and see if it will work. Let's see. Let's do this. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop sharing this. It's one of those things I can't test out ahead of time because I have to be in a meeting. Oh, I think it's going to work. There we go. All right. So now if I grab my marker, you can see how I am invisible, right? I'm see-through. It's a strange whiteboard, but it's what I had because it's got this marbling effect. But right, if I was writing on this, it would, when I moved out of the way, take a picture of it and then project that text on top of. So super cool. If you had this set up in a conference room, be a really easy way to use a whiteboard. And it's I think this was a $17 webcam. So let me show some of the presenter options as well. So turn on my camera. Sure, let's use this camera. And let's pick one of these other modes. So side by side. And we'll use this screen. And it's neat because it gives you this little preview. So here we are in side by side mode. Here's the content and me. And then if I cancel that and go back to the meeting, it's easy to get lost in here. Stop sharing, and I'm gonna share again. You can also change your background here. So these are the default ones that are there. So I'll pick a different background and I will pick the reporter mode. So the content will be up in the corner and I'll be down in the side there. And we'll share the screen again. So I can switch to my calendar. So now it's in the reporter mode. So it's pretty neat. Some neat options there. Coming up, we have this month in cyber on the 26th. And then we're doing a click or treat, which is kind of a discussion around training for cybersecurity awareness in your organization. So everybody needs to stay up to date with cybersecurity awareness. Both of these topics are going to cover that, so make sure you join those. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, email, call, and then thank you. So that's all I have. Thanks for joining.